this is my first video, so it might not be very good. I have never done a YouTube video in my life, so it's probably going to be pretty rubbish until I can properly get set up and figure out what I'm doing. But I just want to start with that, so everyone's expectations are not very high. So yeah, it's not going to be amazing or perfect, especially not this first one, but we can only get better. So this is the book I'm going to review. I want my channel to basically be somewhere where people can come and just chill out and relax. They don't necessarily have to like be glued to the screen watching my video. It's, you know, as you can see, it's very simple setup at the moment. You can just have it on in the background. You can, you know, just listen to it. You can watch it. Yeah, it's no pressure. So I'm gonna basically review books with you, and then I might also do some colouring in some videos. They'll be very separate, so like they won't merge, so it's not going to get confusing like that or anything. But my main focus right now is the book reviews, and then there may be some colouring videos in between that, but let's start off by reviewing this book. So the book is called A Sorceress Comes to Call, and it is by Kingfisher. She is a Hugo and Nebula award-winning author. This book came out in 2024. It is a very well-written book. The book itself is very nice. It has spread edges. The cover is very whimsical, magical, dark, you know. It's really nice. It's a really nice looking book. You know, you could have it sitting on your shelf and it would look really, really nice. So I want to just start by saying that there might be possible spoilers in these videos. I'm not too sure how I'm going to like go ahead with the reviews, whether I'm going to keep them spoiler free or if there will be spoilers, so please keep that in mind while you are watching. I'll do my best to like mention a spoiler, like a pre-warning that there's going to be a spoiler before I drop the spoiler, just in case you want to skip over that part of the video. I've already pre-filled this in, this little section here. It is a page count of 367, so it's a medium-sized book. If you are a quick reader, you're probably gonna get through this, you know, fairly quick. If you're a slow reader, it might take you a little bit longer to get through the book, but you know, reading isn't a competition. Just read at your own pace and enjoy it. That's what I say. The genre is probably like magical fantasy, you know, that kind of realm. It's very much like eerie magic, like morally grey. It definitely has dark elements to it, but again, I just think fantasy magic is, you know, is a broad enough thing for a genre. I started reading this in October, and I didn't actually finish it until November. But I have had a long gap in reading, so I'm just getting back into that now. I was going to like fill these questions in and go through, but I think for now, like I said, this is my first video, so I kind of want to keep it a bit compact at first to sort of gauge where I want to go with it. Like, do I want to sit through these conversations and fill them out? I don't know if that's what people would like. I don't know if that's too much. But for this, I'm just going to go straight to the thoughts and notes page of this book. I do want to point out that this book is really nice, vegan leather, and it is by Clever Fox, and it's a reading journal. So you have like an index, you know, you can put the page number. It's basically so you can find out what you're looking for without having to trawl through the whole book. A reading log, so you can write what books you've read in which month. There's 2 lots of these, so you can do 2 years worth of these. A daily reading tracker, I may or may not use. I'm very forgetful at the best of times, so I'm not sure how often I'll be able to tick off this. Books to read, this I am really going to have fun filling in because there's so many books that I want to read. A reading list, I have filled this in, ready for this video. So my first book in here is A Sorceress Comes to Call, and then here we are. Yeah, as you can tell from the chat, I found the whole book very enjoyable. It was really difficult to not just put all these, you know, full. I had to really think about what kind of things made it not have a full, you know, part. That's why I've given 4.5 stars. There was nothing like wrong with the book, like in my opinion. It wasn't like bad or anything. There's hardly anything that I would, you know, bring up or wish that the story had more of. So let's go into the review. I probably started back in October. I wrapped it up at the beginning of November. Like I say, honestly, I really liked it. It's a wonderful mix of dark fairy tale energy, eerie magic, and politely traumatised characters trying their absolute best to behave at tea, while a sorceress quietly ruins everyone's life in the background. It's subtle, unsettling, and strangely calming all at once. The story follows a timid, soft-spoken Cordelia and her mother, Evangeline, who is the villain in the story. I will say that's not really a spoiler. She is elegant, controlling, deeply manipulative, and they have a horse called Falada. Falada is a white, stunning, beautiful horse. Anyways, along the way, they basically encounter this lady called Hester and her brother, who is the local squire. Hester quickly became one of my absolute favourite characters in this book. She really, really did. Bless her knee, bless her cane. Hester is a sensible older woman. She has a warm heart, she's got a grounded presence, and just like this quiet heroine that, you know, made every scene with her feel comforting. She's the kind of character who, you know, she brings a soft glow into a dark room. I really, really liked her character of it a lot. She was what was needed in a lot of parts of this book. The overall vibe is, you know, it's dark with just the right dash of witchiness. There's gentle humour sprinkled, exactly where you would want there to be a bit of humour. And of course the villain, like I say, which is Evangeline, Cordelia's mother. You really wish someone would just toss her into a bog, like immediately. She is a very nasty woman, and I just, like, she really got under my skin quite a lot in this book. Yeah, she was very well written. I really, really like when you can sort of like get in an emotional state about a character in a book. Like, you can feel like empathy or annoyance, and that book is very much like that. There's only one thing I wish the story like explored more of, which is, I mean, this could be a spoiler, so if you do not want to know any spoilers about this book, please skip forward. The thing I wish I had more of is about Hester and Lord Evermore. There was chemistry between them, there was potential, there was hallway vibes, and then there was just absolutely nothing, just a tease of something unexpectedly soft and like grown up, and I was just over here like, you know, hello, can someone please give these two a side plot, another book. It didn't ruin anything for me, but I just wanted more of that because they deserved that in this book or in a, you know, a separate book. That is all. That's what I wish it was more of. You know, it's nothing dramatic. I'm not asking for too much. other than that, like I say, it's very well written. It explores each person, you know, enough to kind of really get to know these people. I was left wanting to like read it like quite a lot. Like I kept thinking like, oh, I really can't wait to find out what happens next, because this isn't a book I necessarily would have picked up like instantly myself, but I'm really glad I did, because even though it doesn't have like all the romance and spice that a lot of books have these days, especially for people, you know, I like romance and fantasy and all that sort of thing, but it's still a really good well-written book because it, you know, it doesn't need any of that stuff. My final thoughts on The Sorceress Comes Call, or A Sorceress Comes Call, is that it is a dark, cosy, witchy delight. It's the kind of story that stays with you, not probably forever, but just it stays with you, you know, for a little while after you read it. It leaves an after effect. It's full of memorable characters. It has a quietly tense atmosphere throughout the whole book. You know, there is some real tense moments, which I thoroughly enjoyed, and a villain who, you know, really does just get under your skin. You just cannot believe some of the things that this villain does and gets up to. If you enjoy morally grey magic, quiet acts of bravery, and fairy tales that lean more towards the eerie kind of side of the spectrum rather than whimsical, you'll definitely enjoy this. I definitely recommend it, especially if you love stories that feel like sitting by a warm fire with something strange scratching at the window. It kind of really gives off that kind of uneasy vibe. This book, 4.5 stars out of 5. Really good read, thoroughly enjoyed it. It looks really nice. I would recommend it to people, even if you know, wouldn't necessarily read something like this. I'd still say give it a chance, because it might just surprise you, because the villain, like I say, Evangeline, is very well written. And it's like magical without being like silly magical. Yeah, so that's my honest review of this book. I hope to, you know, improve on these videos. Like I say, I'm not sure whether I should fill this in going forward with you guys, but yeah, I just want to say thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next one.